Hey, son.
Hello, Father.
Would you like to see a magic trick?
Whoa. You guys want to see a magic trick?
We live in a new age, and it's time for us to upgrade our tinfoil hats. Operation Tinfoil is a freedom-focused small business and trusted sponsor of this show. Their super comfortable new line of beanies and baseball caps will not only crown your skull in style, but each of these dome defenders is lined with a silver mesh that blocks up to 99% of EMF radiation from cell phone towers, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and yes, even 5G. We don't know what EMF radiation does to the brain long term, but neither do they, so don't be their guinea pig and don't wait around to find out. Get your stylish tinfoil hat of the future today at gettinfoil.com. Use the promo code SYSTEM for $10 off your order. Again, that's gettinfoil.com. Use the promo code SYSTEM for $10 off your order.
We all know that guy. That extremist.
Nah, that's the wrong clip. We just did that. All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back to The System Is Down. It's the least professional show on the internet. The place, wow, that music is hella loud. Is that really loud for you, Dave? I don't know how to do this anymore.
Yeah, but it slaps, so it's cool.
It's true, it slaps. Let's let it play. All right, what's up, guys? This was not planned up until yesterday, and then the world continued going to shit, so we were like, hey, let's go laugh at it again. It's been too long since we've done this. Dave, it's been way too long since I've seen your beautiful face. How are you, sir?
Dude, I'm doing great. I'm fucking pumped to be here, and I missed you too. Yeah, thanks for the invite.
Absolutely. Yeah, the more I watched from the shadows, like, I wasn't digging as much into the news as I used to when I did the show a little bit more regularly, but the more I watched, the more I realized nothing's fucking happening. Still, nothing's happening. The war is still going on, or it isn't. Donald Trump is still going to jail, or he isn't. Who knows? None of the stories have changed. None of the standpoints, really, of the stories have changed, except a little bit in politics. And what better way to ignore the end of the world than by paying really close attention to the most useless activity known to man, which is politics. Dave, would you like to talk about some politics with me today?
Bro, I need to shit on these people. Yeah, let's go.
Right on. We've got a lot to get into and a lot of catching up to do. Go out, share the show with your friends, get your fake super chats in. We're going to have a party and shit on these people. Let's get weird.
All I ask is, if we have to give these bastards our lives, we give them hell before we do!
The tragedy of our day is the climate of fear in which we live.
Talking about the Salomon Brothers building collapsing.
I would ask the congressman to withdraw that comment and tell us that he didn't really mean that. I don't know what I said. I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
The Bible commands that certain people be put to death.
Thieves were possessing weapons of mass destruction. 9/11 attacks were carried out by Al-Qaeda.
Handle the truth! I remember that with Matthew Moses! We are still here!
We have to say yes to social justice.
No, tomorrow. It's a big club, and you ain't in it.
And now the music's too low. I don't know what I'm doing. What's up, y'all? Welcome back. It's the least comfortable show. We did all that already. I didn't play the credits. I totally forgot about that. We've got some new people who have joined. It seems like the less I do, the more people join and inspire me to do more. So please keep doing more, and I will keep giving me more money, and I will at least feel more guilty about not doing as much. which will somewhat mildly incentivize me to do more. So those people, my favorite sponsors, are those of you fine folks in the Downers Club. People like Emo, Ben Weir, Melina Roberts, Kimberly Owens, Grumgy Gnome, Silas Lane, Bonnie Jeffers, Amy Lepore, Adam Choit, Leah Ann, Autumn, Alex W., Magoo, Break the Bell, Zareth Anarchy, Keith Compton, Level Zero, Vanzai Media, Stephen Hartman, Carolina B., Craig DaCosta, Anthony Meyer, John Odermatt, Tim Brown, Howie Snowden, Mary Rome, and a bunch of others. If you'd like to get your name on that list and possibly have it read incorrectly someday, go on over to the Downers Club at patreon.com/The System Is Down, where you'll get more weird, more raw, more offensive, more content when I can. And there will be more content today, and we have something very special planned for you. If you're already in the Downers Club, you already know what that very special thing is. But get in there if you're interested. We'll at least keep talking, I'm sure, more about the spicy political nonsense, because things get a little bit heavier in the after parties. And you can get a whole bunch of backlog, and you support this thing, and you'll get a movie premiere today, but we'll talk about that more later. I am joined, of course, as always, by the amazing and wonderful and very young, wise Dave Casey.
Good to be here, man. Yeah, I am told I have youthful features.
Mm-hmm.
Dick, every time.
Wait, are you saying one of your youthful features is your dick? Is that what you're saying? Got a young, spry one?
No. Yeah, it's just always 6 to midnight, constantly. Got to tuck it in my belt.
That sounds more inconvenient than helpful, I would say.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I recognize that I am the elder gentleman, but still maintain the baby face.
Yes. Yes. Dave, how are things in Delaware, up in your neck of the woods, in the scum and villainy hive of the country?
Dude, really good. I haven't done a podcast.
The villainy hive's going great, bro.
Yeah. I mean, I'm checked out, straight black pilled on everything. So
I'm getting there.
I'm just waiting for that to kind of pass. And no, but life is good. Like, life is good in Zion. The Matrix sucks, so that's why I'm still hanging out here.
She's called Delaware Zion.
No, man, Earth, nature, touching grass. That's Zion.
Humanity.
You know what I mean? What we're doing right now, we're in the Matrix. We're doing battle with the fucking agents.
Right.
That's why we're here.
Yep, you got to dip your toe in and take some swings and then get back out and touch grass. But let's go into it today. Yeah. You watched the debate last night, right?
Fuck yeah.
And did you watch the Trump thing?
Fuck yeah, first.
Okay. And did you watch the Dave Smith comedy special?
Yes.
All right. So all the most important things in politics happened all yesterday. So it was like, seems like a good day to bring it back for a refresher and catch up here. We're going to start with let's start with the debate, because that's the main thing that's on everybody's mind for some reason. Like, any of these people are going to beat Trump, even if Trump goes to jail today, which is another big thing that's in the news right now. This is like his deadline day, right?
Mm-hmm.
For like checking in
today, I heard,
to his resort.
We should see a mugshot today, which will solidify the legitimacy of this in the hearts and minds of most Americans.
The mugshot. It's what everybody wants. It doesn't even matter if he's in prison. We just want that mugshot. And me, even as somebody who thinks that he should go to prison, but for different reasons, I just want the mugshot because it will make such great merch and it will be so memeable and so great. Not that I think that he should go to prison for the things that they're accusing him of even, but I just, as everybody else does, I just want to see the mugshot. Agree?
Dude, I'm not going to lie. I mean, yeah, that's red meat. I want to see that mugshot too. But it's funny, like, mugshots are for like catching people that you don't know who they, like, oh, if you see this man, and he's on the loose, like, it's like the most unmistakable face on the planet. It's like, make sure you get that though. It's beautiful.
I saw an orange man, but I'm not sure if it's the same orange man. It's like he's the only person
in
the entire world that looks like he does.
I don't know.
He's the only person in the world with that color of hair, with that color of skin, with that existence of himself. So I don't think you would be hard pressed to. I don't think you'd be able to miss him. But so Tucker Carlson, for those that don't know, which you shouldn't, for people who are outside the Matrix, Tucker Carlson interviewed Donald Trump, pre-taped and released it coincidentally at the exact same time that Fox News very exclusively aired live the debate, the first GOP debate that Donald Trump was not allowed to be in. Was it that he was not allowed to be in it, or he didn't want to be in it? Do you know?
He did not want to be in it.
Okay. Fox has had their issues with Trump, obviously, and they've had even more issues with Tucker Carlson. So it was quite enjoyable to just see the back and forth there of, two probably two corrupt people. Like I give Tucker credit where it's due when it's due. Same for Fox, but it's nice to see two people that are probably deep down, they're still pretty bought and paid for, I would say, going at it and tearing each other down. That's great. Where are you at on Tucker these days, Dave?
Man, you know what? I was thinking about this earlier. I'm where I'm at with Tucker is the same place where I'm at with Vivek and Trump and Alex Jones, and I'm not sure still if they're limited hangout or not. But I'm okay with hanging out for a limited time and getting the most value out of it. And as long as the rhetoric is there, like I'm okay with that. So yeah, it was great. It was good. I won't say it was great. It was good.
Yeah, I said that we would talk about the debate first, but kind of the Trump thing and the debate go hand in hand because I see it as Trump was a part of the debate. He just had his own platform to do it on, so he didn't have to waste time with anybody else. Do you think that he was correct in avoiding this debate? Do you think that he should have done the debate?
I saw a cool take from Jordan Peterson, who was there at the debate, talking about Trump. So I think that it was smart politics for Trump. Like there's what's in it for me. Like, why would I do that? If I was in his position, I could totally understand that because I could only go down. He's leading by like 50 or 60 points on everybody.
Right. Why would you give anybody else the airtime
Peterson
on the same platform as you? Like if you're bringing in the viewers, why would you give them any airtime when you could just go do your own thing on your own platform and get entirely the airtime and not have to even bother with arguing with people who, aren't even in your sphere as far as this race goes at this point?
Well, yeah, there's so little risk with talking to Tucker versus like maybe leaving yourself open if there's like 9 neocons like staring at all trying to take you down, right?
Yeah.
But Jordan Peterson says like, look, he understood too why Trump wouldn't do it. But just like big picture it for a second, like I'm not sure that this is good for like the process. Like, I think it's good that we have debates. It's good that we have caucus, like the Iowa caucus, where you like actually participate in like direct democracy, not really like, everyone gets a vote shit. Like literally you get there and you get together. Like, I think that's on the way out. I think that's all part of the COVID stuff, the 2030 plan. Like it seems like it's right in line with phasing out the old system and ushering in the new global corporate technocracy. Like this will all be phased out. So I think it's crazy that people are cheering it on and all that, but and again, I don't blame Trump for that. But
it's crazy that they're cheering on Trump saying, "Screw your system, I'm going to do my own thing."
Well, if this is the plan, it's working. Like, yeah, screw debates. We don't need to have debates. It's like, like I get you kind of like on your level and for your guy, but big picture, I don't know. Yeah, I like presidential debates. If you want to be a leader, like show us why you want to be a leader.
Right. Yeah, and quite frankly, in the Trump interview, I wasn't that impressed with him. Not as impressed. Like, I'm not a Trump fan, but sometimes, he brings his A game, and sometimes he sees like he's 24 hours or 48 hours away from prison, and he has other things on his mind and isn't giving the best answers to things, hypothetically. But, I mean, even with the most obvious one that, of course, we have to bring up is the Epstein thing, because Tucker Carlson asked him, do you think Epstein killed himself? And Trump's like, I think he probably did. I think he did. Yeah. I can see why some people think he might not. Like, Tucker Carlson literally laughed in his face when he said, I can see why some people, it's like, yes, because that is the most obvious, like, Occam's razor answer to what happened here is that he did not kill himself. And anybody who's still like, Tucker Carlson's absolutely right. You should be laughed at if you think that that Epstein was not Epsteined. Like, it's a verb now. He got Epstein. He started that, and we all know what it means. What do you think?
Yeah, man, this is where Trump always is for me. Like, I'm not sure if he's in on the game or if he's really that inept. That's been like where he just is planted the whole time. So that's perfectly in line with that.
Yeah, it's like, is he stupid? Or I think mostly he's very, I don't know, just he's Trump, and he's mostly concerned about Trump. And he's processing what is the right answer for Trump to say to get Trump elected. And I don't know if I don't think that one will work in his favor, given a lot of his supporters still believe that he is officially the president and will be back in the White House any day now, like the QAnon people. Yeah, the QAnon people, I bet, aren't big in favor of him not knowing exactly where he lands on Epstein. And on the CIA, like even on the CIA, he just said, yeah, I think they do some shady things. Like these are the people that are destroying you, man. You can't even speak out against that. And I don't know. What can he do other than he's good at being brash against other politicians, but when actually it's on topics that matter outside of like Rand Paul's hair or DeSantis being low energy or whatever, like there's nothing there.
Yeah, man. Yeah, he had a couple slips and a couple, man, just really like, yeah, who is this guy? Trump has nicknames for everybody.
Right.
Certainly all of his competition or potential competition. And the guy goes, Tucker goes, oh, like, what about Gavin Newsom? He's like, oh, we actually get along. I like Gavin.
Right.
Like, what? He's the worst fucking human being on the, like, what are you talking about?
Doing? Even if that's true,
he
why
really
are you
revealed
that?
But I'm sure, dude, like, but worst case scenario is that like he revealed himself there. He has way more in common with Gavin Newsom than he does with you.
Right.
That's you know what I mean? So yeah, lots to worry about there.
Absolutely. And we can jump back and forth. I think that, it's possible that Trump was not on his A game because like I said, his brain was somewhere else with all this stuff going on. But yeah, I was expecting more energy out of him still when you're, literally at the end fighting for your life, so to speak. If you believe that Trump's going to jail, which I don't. But if you believed that, you would think he would fight a little bit harder and speak out a little bit more than just giving the same old talking points and very weak answers. But let's switch over to the GOP a bit. So Mike Pence, I want to, first off, like going into this, my biggest question, just like in this entire race, is who just in general is running against Donald Trump? Whether it's some in the Libertarian Party, even I have this question for. Like, do you think that you will be able to pull votes away from the Republicans that would normally be Donald Trump voters for people that are like in the same messaging sphere? I'm not saying that there isn't a good person who can do that, but it's the same as like, certain governor candidates running against DeSantis back in the day, if you recall, and taking flack for it. There's a discussion to be had there, certainly, whether or not it's even worth the energy, but more so than even all the Libertarian candidates, I don't understand why Mike Pence is here doing anything at all, why he has any voice, who his fan base is, who he's speaking to. Like, if you were a Trump supporter during the Trump regime, you probably hate Mike Pence for all of the shit that went down of him stabbing Trump in the back, or however you look at that, doesn't matter. If you were for Trump, you were probably against Mike Pence by the end. If you were against Trump and thought that every single thing that Trump did, including the appointing of Mike Pence as vice presidential running mate, you probably don't like Pence either. So who is this guy speaking to or for? Like, who out there likes Mike Pence? If there's anybody out there that likes Mike Pence and wants him to be president, please let me know. I would love to have you on the show and do some conversion therapy. Maybe we can get Joe Exotic in to make you seem less crazy. But Dave, what do you think about Mike Pence? Did he wow you last night?
No, Mike Pence is Rick Santorum. So if you're my age, like you probably were taken back to like the 2004 era of like Republican politics.
Yeah.
So, I mean, God, no, he's probably one of the worst, he or Asa Hutchinson, former head of the DEA, current governor. They're probably like the neocon, throw Nikki Haley in there, the neocon alliance. But dude, what I think that the purpose of these debates, whether it's, 4 years ago with the DNC debates and they had 15 people on stage, 10 of which you never heard of. It's like, it's the establishment throwing all of these things at you, seeing what sticks, but mainly to run cover for their preferred guy. Because if it was just Vivek and Ron DeSantis having a debate, which is what it should have been.
Yeah.
Right. If it was just that, then your guy probably would have had a bigger chance of being exposed.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that's what they're trying to do. We'll give this guy who literally no one's ever heard of, the governor of North Dakota was up there, and he honestly wasn't polished. He wasn't that bad, but he certainly was like, who the fuck is this guy? Like that was my first.
Like somebody who had run for Libertarian presidential candidate that nobody's ever heard of. Like he didn't see. Like I had never.
We're gonna try and pluck him when this is all
like,
over, bro. Don't you worry. Like Lincoln Chafee, we're gonna bring his ass in. You were great. You were great. Do that again. Do that exact same thing you did up there, except over here.
Yep. Yeah, I don't. It was. I mean, yes, Mike Pence. It was baffling. It's baffling to me why Mike Pence is running, and then it's even more baffling to me how we have multiple, not just one or two or three, multiple candidates that are less qualified than Mike Pence to be on this stage right now. Like people that you've literally never heard of that are like, yeah, I could. It's my time to take on Donald Trump, and like Vivek Ramaswamy, who we're going to talk about a lot. He won the debate clearly, and I don't think anybody could disagree. Sure. But I mean, unless you include Donald Trump. But yes, like these people that nobody's ever heard of, they're going to run against Donald Trump in Donald Trump's party, and it's like, why? Is it just to muddy the waters? Is it just to have more neocons on the platform saying neocon shit, or like what benefit do they really have to? I don't know. To do it or for people to put them up there.
Literally, that's the only way to pull the Overton window back from MAGA into traditional, respectable Republican land. And that's what those guys want. Certainly that's what Mike Pence represents.
Yeah.
A version of it, 20 years old at least. But yeah, I think that's exactly what they're doing, dude. That's how you can't have one guy up there who's saying, no, Donald Trump's the asshole, not me. It has to be 9 assholes.
Right.
Because that's what it, like, to get into the mind of the public. And okay,
and have Vivek up there saying, no, I'm the asshole.
Right. Dude, honestly, that's what I tweeted that earlier. I think it was a Fox News sponsored Never Trump debate with Trump's surrogate there, who's Vivek.
Pretty much, yeah. And he did better than I think Trump. I mean, in my view, I don't think he did better than Trump would have done if Trump was on the stage. But as far as his answers and stuff, I think he gave better answers than Trump would have given if he was on the debate stage.
Bro, he's a pit bull. He's a machine. Yeah, absolutely.
And Mike Pence at one point had a statement that was like, I think that, yeah, some people are too old to run for office for the president. I think some people are just too old, but also some people are too young. I mean, it was obvious, like very subtle, Mike Pence. But obviously he was talking about Vivek being, I think he's 37, something like that, 39, 37, I think.
38. Yeah.
Somewhere, split the difference.
And he's 5'7". That's why I'm excited. I can relate. Motherfucker's 5'7". He's going to, so.
And he's
preserved. I got a little bit of height on him. And
he's a well-preserved Indian man. Like, he's going to look like 25 for at least the next 20 years. I mean, yeah. There was one point, I don't remember who it was that said it, but somebody on the stage, I believe, called him out and said, oh, this is what we saw from Barack Obama back in the years. I think it might have been Mike Pence. This was Barack Obama. It's like
Christie. It was Chris Christie.
Okay. Like, these never Trump people, like Chris Christie, like Mike Pence, who are calling out, it gets very confusing because they're calling out Vivek for being too much like Donald Trump and too much like Barack Obama at the same time. Like, they want to say that he is Donald Trump and they'll vote for Donald Trump if Donald Trump is the candidate, but Donald Trump is a criminal. And also, like, what is this saying to the voting audience if you're calling this guy both Trump and Obama at the same time? Like, you're saying that, oh, he's going to be a very popular person. Because that's basically I mean, outside of, like, war, that's basically the only thing that these people have, even a little bit in common, is that people seem to like what they have to say, whether you agree with it or not. But, yeah, he said that, Mike Pence said that Vivek was too young. Let's hear a couple clips of what Vivek had to say during this. And I will tell y'all, I pulled these clips as I was about to hit play on this stream, so I don't know if they're the right clips. I haven't listened to them, but we're going to find out together. Let's go on an adventure. This one is where he's calling them all super PAC puppets. Let's see.
You know what? We're going to bring in... I just want to finish responding to Mike. I just want to respond to Mike for 1 second because he invoked me back. Listen, now that everybody's gotten their memorized, pre-prepared slogans out of the way, we can actually have a real discussion now. The reality and the fact of the matter is...
Was that one of yours?
Not really, Mike, actually. We're just going to have some fun tonight. And the reality is, you have a bunch of people, professional politicians, super PAC puppets, following slogans handed over to them by their 400-page super PACs last week. The real choice we face in this primary is this. Do you want a super PAC puppet, or do you want a patriot who speaks the truth? Do you want incremental reform, which is what you're hearing about, or do you want revolution?
Okay.
And I stand on the side of the American...
Okay, so I don't
revolution?
know. Like, I like a lot of what Vivek has to say, but I'm still skeptical. I'm like, all right, I've been burned
Yeah.
before. Like, we had our, we've had good and bad Elon Musk moments. We've had good and bad, even Donald Trump moments. We've had good and bad. Even if you go back far enough, you probably had good and bad Bernie Sanders moments. But politics has a way of turning people into politicians. And so I'm skeptical. But as of right now, this guy knows what got Donald Trump elected. And it was a guy of any stature getting up on a stage, sounding like a human and saying, you're all full of shit. You're all politicians and you're all just politicianing. And I think that's what he did pretty well here, in literally just calling them super PAC puppets and saying they're all bought and paid for. And I'm not. I don't know if that's true. He might be bought and paid for, but it was a good response. What'd you think, Dave?
Dude, obviously won the debate. I can only think, like, he made a comment about Israel I didn't love, and maybe one other thing, launching a drone war in Mexico or something. But everything else was tip top. Like, as far as the rhetoric is concerned. And the guy's got panache. Wears a suit well. Doesn't stutter. No likes, and through all his shit. It's just like a tactician with it.
Yeah.
However,
he has a non-politician-y answer to everything, which is great.
Right. But it's a conspiracy show. So when I hear, we need an outsider, like I go, yeah, we do, because all these guys suck. But at the same time, does that mean I have to have a billionaire, big pharma guy? Is that what you mean, outsider? Because that seems like that fits in with the global technocratic corporatist takeover of things. So it's, just like Elon, feels good and it's fun right now. It's like, I'm very, very skeptical.
What do you know about Vivek? Is he a billionaire, big pharma guy? I don't know much about him.
So people in the chat will probably know more about him than I do. I know he started his own pharma company, so it's not like he works for Pfizer, though I've heard that there's like links between the work that he does and the bigger, the bigger guys, Pfizer in particular. Yeah. So that's something to be, very skeptical of. It feels like the 2024 election brought to you by Pfizer, which I would have said that before I knew any of the candidates. Whoever it's going to be sponsored by Pfizer, because all the TV commercials or shows are sponsored by Pfizer, and the whole last 3 years was sponsored by Pfizer. So cut out the middleman, or, get in an outsider who will make it look good.
Yeah, I trust him about as much as I trust RFK Jr. In a completely different way. And I would love to see a debate between RFK and Vivek, because that's the only, these are two of the only people whose opinions that I actually care about hearing from the two major parties, aside from maybe a couple laughs here and there. But the Pfizer sponsor, I don't know why, but it reminded me of, so did you watch this on foxnews.com where you had to sign up and give your email and all that? Was that the situation for everybody, or was there an easier way to watch this?
I watched it online. I think it was Fox, without signing into anything.
Oh, well, yeah. I could not find it without them insisting that I give them my email address, which I'm not happy about, but it worked. I was just, I don't know. It seems strange to have a presidential debate that has barriers to watching it. Like, you would think if you wanted people to view your program and you wanted these people's points to be heard as your candidates for your party, that you would make it as easy as possible to find and hear what they had to say. Possibly easier than finding Donald Trump and Tucker Carlson on Twitter, you would think. But I don't know. Maybe it was just user error, but I found it a little tricky to get into. But
that's pre-ESG mentality, bro. They don't care.
That's right.
They fired Tucker Carlson.
That's true. Now we are right around the halfway point, so we'll go ahead and give a little thank you to our sponsor that we haven't given enough love to. Please pay close attention and do not walk away from your computer, because we'll be right back after this.
Today's episode is sponsored by Astero's Cybersecurity Services. These days, organizations of all sizes are targets for cyber criminals, disgruntled employees, or even nation-state attackers. Astero's performs cybersecurity services, providing expert guidance to help organizations defend against threats and protect their data. Astero specializes in penetration testing, where they perform ethical hacking on networks, web apps, or organizations as a whole, to simulate what an attacker would do and plug the discovered holes before anyone malicious finds and exploits them. Asteros also specializes in vulnerability management, security awareness training, phishing simulations, cloud security audits, compliance readiness assessments, and much more. As technology expands, it becomes easier and easier to run a business, but if your security is not growing along with your company, then you're going to run into problems. If you don't personally have a company of your own, definitely pass this information along to someone who does, because for a limited time, Asteros is offering companies an attack surface audit completely free. Let Asteros discover potential entry points to your network and how susceptible your company or organization is to cyber attacks. To learn more and to take advantage of this essential offer, just go to asteros.com/free. That's Asteros, ASTEROS.com/free.
And we are back. Thank you. How was your break, Dave?
Fucking good, dude. I was reading the chats.
How are they? Pretty
So,
degenerate?
They're cool. No, I love all these people. Actually, I recognize lots of these names. And I wanted to say, because I wanted to say it earlier, Joey Two Gun said, can we talk about them excluding Larry Elder, but allowing people that aren't known outside of their towns? Good
Right.
call. Larry
I didn't
Elder
even think
did
about
get
that.
40,000 signatures. He got 40,000. And he was on 3 polls where he needed to be, but they said that the Rasmussen poll doesn't count. Fox News said that, so they excluded
Are you telling me that
a brother.
What was his name? Bergmom? I don't know. The one, like the guy,
Right.
the guy that looked like a Jeff Dunham Muppet character, like vampire that nobody's ever heard of, that he was more qualified and more well known than Larry Elder. You telling me that the other guy, another guy I've never heard of, and couldn't pick him out of it. If I passed him on the street, wouldn't even recognize his face. You're telling me that guy has more support than Larry Elder? Doubtful, but
Sounds shady, bro.
You know, I bet they just don't want the black face of white supremacy mucking up their system. Larry Elder's.
They already got their brown guy up there. No, they had two brown people up there. They're making moves.
That's
becoming
true.
more inclusive. Fox News. 20 years ago, they wouldn't have done that. Way to go, guys.
It's a lighter brown, and they had a woman. Good job, folks.
All right, that they should pump the brakes a bit. Okay,
settle down. And I mean, if it's a warmongering woman, then yes, I would agree. Just keep her. Sit down.
It's a nasty woman. Very nasty.
Yeah. Let's get to a couple fake super chats here. Joey Two Gun says, "Get a haircut, you dirty hippie." I saw some emo comments in the chats, and seeing myself now, I did not set out to look this emo today. I wore the shirt the last couple days. I got it at the Goodwill on, I think, Sunday, and I didn't realize how emo I looked until we were here, but I'm gonna own it because our show is tomorrow. If you're in the Quad Cities area, see, you like that transition there? We have a music concert performance of live instrumentation and vocality at the Skylark in Rock Island. If you're anywhere around here, I know Josh Smith is coming down. He's gonna be crashing with me over the weekend and going to the show, and we're gonna shoot some shit. Probably at least in 3 different meanings. You figured them out. But we're going to hang out, and we're going to play some music. Not Josh. But we're going to do some things. It's going to be fun. But yes, I am looking more emo than I intended to be today, and that's fine. Brian something says, fake super chat, least professional, but best produced show on the internet. I don't know about best produced on the internet, but maybe best produced on the internet if you live in a libertarian bubble. Hector Roos says, fake super chat, Trump surrenders in Georgia at 7:30.
Ooh, that's fun.
We will not be here to see it. There was a part of me, like, I wasn't paying attention to the news all day. I was, like, doing other things, doing life, touching grass a little bit. And I was like, I'm going to get on this stream. And as soon as I do, I'm going to realize that Trump's, like, arrested and the mugshots are out. And we're going to have to, like, shift gears. But no, fuck him. If he was at the debate, we would talk about him more. I'm sure of it. But he wasn't, so... that's on him. Let's talk more about the debate. And Vivek, here's where he had a few comments on climate change.
Because the climate change agenda is a hoax. Let us be honest as Republicans. I'm the only person on the stage who isn't bought and paid for, so I can say this. The climate change agenda is a hoax. The climate change agenda is a hoax. And we have to declare independence for it. And the reality is, the anti-carbon agenda is the wet blanket on our economy.
I love how anytime he talked, all the empty suit, like just old school politicians were like, hold on a second there, fella, young brown fella. You're getting a little off topic here. You're saying that's a hoax. Like, just feigning offense, like not just disagreeing with him, but hey, now hold on. It's like, I don't know. I find it laughably obvious how fake it is.
Yeah, and I'm reminded too of Jeb doing battle with Donald Trump in 2016, and Donald Trump got booed by like a bunch of people, and he's like, "Yeah, they're Jeb's donors." Like, and he's absolutely right. There's dozens and dozens, hundreds. If there's all those candidates there, but that's absolutely true. That's doesn't reflect a whole lot.
Yeah, absolutely. Who would you have rather have seen? Like, if you could only have two of the people last night facing off, would you have rather seen Vivek versus Mike Pence or Vivek versus DeSantis? Because Vivek versus DeSantis is more a realistic, like, matchup of people that need to earn your votes. Mike Pence is not, but Mike Pence comes with the Trump baggage, which I think lends more fun to the mix.
Well, I mean, he's so awful, but DeSantis needs to be exposed, and Pence has already been exposed. So I would definitely want to see the neocon Guantanamo Bay guy go down in flames. Yeah, that would be great.
And I would say Vivek is absolutely right, and I don't think that we have shied away from that at all over the years on this show. The climate change thing, whether or not climate change exists, the politician, the political sphere of climate change is just used as a cudgel to beat you over the head and take more money from you. It might be real. I don't know. All I know is that they're not doing anything to stop it. So why are they insisting that we give them more money to continue doing nothing to stop it if, in fact, it is real? So I think even if it is real, it is a hoax as it is presented by the establishment as this thing that we need to send more money and we will fix it for you solution thing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Poverty is real, but the war on poverty is fake and gay.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's the same. They love invisible enemies.
Yeah.
Germs, climate, because you could fight that forever. Give me what's the best money pit you could give me? You know what I mean? A war on terror, that could last like 20 years, but a climate war.
Right. You can't even see it. It's like COVID, like
Nope.
you said. Or the war on drugs, as DeSantis is very passionate about murdering anybody who's bringing any drugs over the border, just shooting them in the face. That's DeSantis's view.
Is this the only piece of consensus throughout all of the candidates? It's like we're going to execute every drug dealer on earth. It's just like we all can agree with that, right? Okay, cool.
Have you never taken an Adderall and died immediately, Dave, because it was laced with fentanyl? No? All right.
Why would you want that to happen?
Why do you hate the children that are taking Adderall and dying of fentanyl-laced Adderall that comes from Mexico? I don't know. Maybe it happens.
Should launch a drone war. Sorry. Okay, go ahead.
Yes, maybe it happens. I'm not sure that shooting them all in the face to prevent it will prevent it, much less, I don't know, help in any way possible. But yeah. What do you think? They also leaned heavily into the immigration issue and the wall. They spent at least like 25 minutes talking about how they would all build a wall, which they all will and won't at the same time. We know that Donald Trump was building a wall, but he actually wasn't really building it as quickly as he said he was. And then Joe Biden said he wasn't building a wall, but he was actually continuing Donald Trump's wall. So, I mean, none of it really means anything, but where do you land, not to get too deep into immigration debate, but do you think it will stop the drug cartels from drug cartelling?
The wall? No, I think the wall is, you got to go back to the old Ron Paul quote that, walls can be used to keep you in too.
Right.
But if I was plotting out smart cities and smart countries and rigging the whole country for the global technocratic takeover, which all nations have signed up for, it's already happening, then a wall makes perfect sense. And when the wall's finished, it'll be, rigged up to be electric, and it'll have all the, cameras added to it years after that. And the wall will be, empires have walls. That's why we're getting a wall.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's certainly an argument to be made on securing a border, but also a wall. Not only, I don't think it will do anything good. I don't think it will stop people who want to figure out a way to come here. I think they will still come here. I think it might do negative things and keep us in as who knows? But yeah. I certainly don't think it should be the topic number one. And build a wall or we will have to start shooting people in the face because they're carrying drugs. That's not my position. But, if you're a DeSantis guy, maybe that's yours. Who knows? Now, speaking of shooting people in the face, let's talk about war. Because at one point they discussed war and the war in Ukraine, which the United States government is definitely not involved in. We are not at war. We are only sending the amount of money that is, the GDP of like a small country to Ukraine on a regular basis to make sure that they stay at war. But let's hear what the amazing Republican candidates had to say.
The administration
Mostly
is
Vivek.
now asking Congress for $24 billion more, regardless of
Watch the
that
hands. Watch DeSantis in
specifics of
particular.
that plan. Is there anyone on stage who would not support the increase of more funding to Ukraine?
We would not support it.
Europe needs to step up. I mean, I would have Europe step up and do their job.
I like how DeSantis like instantly goes into like explaining why he's not. He's like, I know this isn't gonna work, but here's why. Like, it's like a kid caught with his I don't know, hand in the cookie jar or something, and he's like, no, I don't. But here's why. I'm sorry, you guys.
Is there anyone on stage who would not?
This is not the one with the hands going up. Actually, that's the Trump one that we'll get to in a minute.
Support the increase of more funding to Ukraine.
We would
not support it.
Europe needs to step up.
He gives like Ramaswamy is the only person who puts his hand up immediately without caring about what anybody else thinks. People start cheering, and DeSantis puts his hand halfway up and then starts explaining, I'm sorry, guys, this is why. And I guess I'll give him, I don't know, I'll give him a little bit of airtime here to explain why, because I think it's important to hear his explanation.
I would have Europe step up and do their job.
Mr. Ramaswamy.
Oh, he didn't have more of an explanation. He might.
Dude.
I will have Europe.
What?
I was just going to say, like, what a non-answer. I would have Europe step up.
Right.
It's
I don't want it to
so
stop. I just
what a
don't want
cop-out.
Right. It's playing both sides of the fence here. It's like, we need to stay at war, but I hope that somebody else starts paying for it any day now. Like, okay, well,
Right.
that's not
Awful
an
answer.
answer.
One of his biggest missteps in this whole thing, and I'm glad that he's exposed for it. I love that this question was one that they asked for a show of hands.
Yeah.
Because I want to see the speed in which you answer this question.
Right. And I mean, all of them except for DeSantis and Vivek did not even budge on the topic.
Pull their weight. Right now, they're not doing that, and I think we need to do. And I think our support should be contingent on them doing it. And I would have support in China to be able to take China and do what we need to do with China.
Vivek knows he's got it.
You would not support an increase of funding to Ukraine.
I would not. And I think that this is disastrous, that we are protecting against an invasion across somebody else's border when we should use those same military resources to prevent across the invasion of our own southern border here in the United States of America. We are
So
driving
close.
Russia
Yeah.
into China's hands. The Russia-China
stop.
alliance is the single greatest threat we face. And I find it offensive that we have professional politicians on the stage that will make a pilgrimage to Kyiv, to their Pope, Zelensky, without doing the same thing for people in Maui or the south side of Chicago
Yeah.
or Kensington.
I agree with
Thank
him.
you.
Yes, I agree with him there, but also at the same time, he's, I don't know, saying we shouldn't because we have bigger fish to fry here in war with China. Like, it's good.
Well,
yeah,
he makes a
like
good point.
any,
Look,
any way
it's
that diverts
true.
away from
Russia
the current
is-
thing, great.
Well, I mean, it's true. The longer we are kind of driving Russia and China together. It's complete. Like, why wouldn't you see that? Like, so that part's true. I don't know if that's the reason to not be at. It's like just don't be at war.
Right.
Trade with people.
It feels like a fear-mongering tactic to me to be like, we need to focus on this person that's a bigger threat. And that's like, well, that could just big picture, 5 years down the road, if we continue down we need to make sure that we are focusing on China because China is a bigger threat, which in fairness, we've been doing since like the 90s. China's always been the threat. But at least as the way they put it. But I don't know. In this, to me, it felt more like a, be scared, you guys. But there's a part of me that's like, hey, if we can like pull out of the current war and maybe scare people into being like, hey, let's whatever works to get us out of the current war. If that means like saying, hey, maybe we have other things to focus on here, then so be it. As long as it gets us out of that, then we can regroup and figure it out from there. But right now, it's not great.
It's not going well for anybody involved, and our continuation in being there is only prolonging the inevitable, or encouraging the inevitable nuclear holocaust. But I don't know. I like it for the most part. It's more important that the points that he made on focusing more on the at-home stuff, I like that. Like, we've got people suffering here. Yes, it sucks that people are suffering over there, but we have people suffering here, and we are sending billions of dollars to make sure that they are not suffering, which is just prolonging their suffering, when we could be using that here to actually lift people out of poverty or help. And even in that, I mean, there's libertarian taxation debate and all that, what social funds that should go where. But hey, if my tax dollars are going toward helping my neighbor not be a homeless person, I support that more than helping Volodymyr Zelensky hold on to his power any longer. I'm not sure. Am I making sense, Dave?
Yeah, and I would add to that this war would be over if we wouldn't send them tens of billions of dollars every month. I don't know what they're up to now, 200 billion.
Right.
I don't know, but
fictional numbers
as a result of
like
that,
so high your brain can't even process it amount. Yes.
Right. But as a result, 400,000 Ukrainians have died in this war. So that wouldn't have happened if we wouldn't be sending Javelin missiles and drones and all this shit. That's the reason that's happening. And the United States government is happy to keep this going as long as possible because they don't care about us, let alone the people of Ukraine. Shit. That's what a proxy war is. We don't have to feel it. They do. They've lost almost 500,000 people. And dude, yeah, if we're like choosing between the lesser of two evils, would I rather have $0 go to Ukraine and have American soldiers on the border? Like, I would take that over that. I don't want, armed guards at the border, but that sounds a whole lot better. I mean, at least it's our country and they're not firing on people that aren't right there. So you might have some lives and save some money.
Absolutely. And if you guys, I should have mentioned a long time ago, if you guys have fake super chats, I don't remember, did I mention it? Fake super chats, get your fake super chats in. If you have a question, if you have a comment, something that you want to say that you think that we should read, put fake super chat in all caps because YouTube doesn't allow us to super chat because they hate you and they hate me and they hate everyone that thinks for themselves. So put fake super chat in all caps, and even though you're not paying me, I will try and get to them and read your questions and comments. And if you want even more exclusive connectivity, go join the Downers Club at patreon.com/the system is down, because we're going to keep the party going soon. And it seems like we might have to push some libertarian drama off into the after party. So stick around if you're into that sort of thing. And if you're not, you probably don't see the value in giving me money anyway. So enjoy your day. But we have a few more Vivek things. I don't mean to be too high on this Republican candidate here, but hey, when you're right, you're right. And I pulled all the clips I felt like were interesting and worth looking at. A lot of this was, and this is the part that astounds me the most. You had this is one main reason why I think that Donald Trump was right to not do the debate, because in this debate there was airtime for two people you've never heard of arguing about what they would do when they become president, when every single person, including them, knows they will not become president. I know it's much like a libertarian debate.
Are we talking about the LP? Yeah, okay, thanks. Just making
I did not mean to go there, but hey, when you're right, you're right. But yeah, even like Chris Christie, what are you doing, man? Like he was virtue signaling hard for the neocons, and Donald Trump is just he hates the Constitution. How can you, his big attack on Vivek was, how can you possibly not hate Donald Trump when he hates the Constitution? It's just such bloviating bullshit, hollow nonsense, just pushing establishment politics down your throat. That's what 75% of this was, and the other 25% was Vivek owning the whole shit. There's a reason why he's in the middle. There's a reason why people are responding. There's a reason why he is trending on Twitter right now, and it's because he's saying things that people connect with because they're honest. In contrast, continuing on the neocon warmongering bullshit, here's where he called out what's her name, Nikki Haley, who cares, about her neocon positions.
I wish you well in your future career.
Oh shit.
The boards of Lockheed and Raytheon.
Let me turn that up.
I wish you well in your future career on the boards of Lockheed and Raytheon.
I'm not on the boards of Lockheed and Raytheon. And
Boeing came off of it, but you've been pushing this lie. You've been pushing this lie all week, Nikki.
You want to go and defund Israel.
I wish you.
All right, she had a point there. She was making a point there. Well, wait, no, she said that he wants to defund Israel. I don't know where these people land on Israel.
I think he does. I think he wants to not send them any more money. He loves them and he loves their apartheid state, but he doesn't want to send them money, which,
I mean, there's something libertarian about that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just New Hampshire.
I'll take it.
But yeah, just him calling her and this is kind of Trump tactics, just I don't know what you would call it, just not really name calling, not really slander, but being like, yo, you're a neocon. Like, he's using the jokes a little bit. He's being snarky with it, which is the only reason Donald Trump got elected, so good on him for that. And he's doing so in a more respectful and respectable way, I think, than Donald Trump ever did, because he's not saying, oh, you're a silly, stupid woman. He's saying, you support the people that want to, like, bomb the shit out of brown people. I'm one of those brown people. He actually doesn't say that, but he could. He could play that card if he wanted to, and he didn't the entire night. Good on him for it. Yeah. But yeah, she, like, how white woman attacks brown man, who wins? I don't know, but she's the one who is more into, sending bombs around the world with our tax dollars, and he doesn't seem to be as much, so good on him for it. Any thoughts, Dave?
Nikki Haley is one of the crown jewels of the neocon experience. So it's not shocking that she's there. It's not shocking that she's all on Israel's dick like the rest of them. It's not shocking that he told her that she's probably going to be on the board of Raytheon and Lockheed Martin. For me, man, look, that's fucking red meat. I need it. That's what I'm saying. I know he's a pharma guy. I know that he's probably already made the deal with Trump to be the VP.
Sure.
But that was fucking great. That happened on Fox News, on cable TV. This is good for people to see this. And, I can't believe that this is the Republican Party. Again, take it back 20 years to 03, 04. It's so great that somebody's on the stage going, no, we should send no more money. Right. No more money for these wars. Fuck you. Fuck Raytheon. Fuck Lockheed Martin. It's amazing.
I would say better than Trump. And I've never voted for Trump. I'm not saying I would vote for Vivek. I'm saying let's see where the chips land. But if there's anybody in any mainstream party, be it Democrat or Republican, same goes for RFK and Joe Exotic, of course. But anybody who's out there who has a platform, who is speaking sense and just saying it like it is, like, he's Trump in a much less Trumpy package. He's got the right answers. He's got the hard-hitting shit, and he can stir people up without... He doesn't have the divisiveness, the divisive nature of being, let's just say, a straight white male like Donald Trump is, or straight orange male, whatever. But he's got. Dude, go ahead.
Vivek, he's the perfect running mate for Trump. Person of color. Sorry, that probably doesn't mean much to the GOP, but it means a lot to the electorate.
Joe Biden did it, so look, it is what it is.
Look, he's. Not only that, but if Trump has baggage, which he does because he locked down the country, because he sold a vaccine and the Operation Warp Speed, you're going to need somebody smart who's in that world who can run cover for you. Who possibly could you find that could do a better job of, like, okay, well, Trump was in the, he would do it. He could do it. He could get in front of Trump. Well, he was in this and he was forced to do this. And, let me tell you about this vaccine and it's not all bad. And he could be the one to do that.
Yeah.
He's the only one that could do that. So
Jennifer Hobbing says, LOL, Nikki is Indian too. Dang it. She's got him beat then, because that's really all that matters in this, is that she's got the woman and the Indian. It doesn't matter that her ideas suck and her policies suck and everything about her sucks. All that matters is that. And Vivek, I thought he was going to edge his way in with the race card, but she's got him beat. I'm sorry.
Yeah. He doesn't need it. She needs it.
Yeah, we've got a couple of fake super chats here. Gustav something says, fake super chat, is it too hard of an ask to get one candidate that has ideas to solve problems that don't involve killing, injuring, kidnapping, fraud, or theft? Yes, it is much too hard to ask of a bunch of murderers, people who want the power so that they can use it to kill people. Yes, it is too much to ask because that's the only thing that they do well. That's the only thing they agree on. That's the only reason why they get to the point where they are able to become the president is because they agree on that one very simple thing, that your life means as little or less than people across the world and can be disposable. Carlin Borisenko says, fake super chat, can we talk about Chris Christie? No, we cannot. Other than, good God, what a worthless, just shill of a human that man is. Like, read the room. Same with Mike Pence. Same with a lot of these folks. Like, I give more credit to the nobodies that nobody's ever heard of in getting up there and being like, I'm so dumb. I think that I might have a shot. Chris Christie knows he doesn't have a shot. He's just there to be the mouthpiece of the establishment and get shit on. Like, he's there to be the patsy for the establishment and be like, no, this is the right way. Even though clearly I'm just a walking useless bag of shit that is just here to spew and regurgitate the establishment talking points onto this debate right now. Yes, we can talk about him. He was absolutely useless in his task even, let alone anything of value. His task was there. His task was to be there to shut down anybody speaking logical sense. He did not do that well, let alone, convince anybody to vote for him for president. Dave, your thoughts on Chris Christie?
Yeah, thanks for the comment, Carlin. I would say, out of all those fucking assholes up on that stage, that guy is the worst one. The worst one. No redeeming qualities. Like, at least Pence, even so boring. What a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
But, he read a Bible quote or two that was like nice, and if you steer people to the Bible, I'm not even Christian. I'm just saying,
so
like, that's
pandery. As a Christian, it was pandery as shit. He was just like,
Look,
just since you asked about this, let me talk about my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, who when I asked him into my heart and soul, like 25, like, shut up, dude. Just answer the question. You're a scumbag politician. Just answer it. We know what you are.
Absolutely. But I think that the worst person on the stage with the shittiest caliber, his soul is dog shit, and that's why it comes out in his appearance. The worst person on that stage is Chris Christie. The most corrupt. The biggest asshole.
Yep. Yeah, I can't disagree. And it's not even so much the terrible ideas that he has and the terrible things it's the amount of conviction, the sleazeball conviction persona that he has. Like, he's trying to sell you a used car. It's just like, no, guys, I cannot believe that Vivek would say such a... Shut up, dude.
You've never been to New Jersey, have you, Dan?
No.
You've never been to Jersey, have you? Yeah, see?
No.
He skis in his jeans. That's what they do over there.
All right, we've got one more Vivek thing, and then we got to talk about other less or more important things. I'm not sure. This was the one that I was mentioning earlier. Let me blow this up a bit so you can see, because the hand raise here, I think, is so telling. And to me, this was kind of the death nail in the coffin for Ron DeSantis. Just this response says so much about his character to me.
If former President Trump is convicted in a court of law, would you still support him as your party's choice? Please raise your hand if you would.
So you... Okay.
I love it.
Oh, my God.
Dominoes.
So, right side of the room. First, Vivek in the middle. Hand up immediately. Nikki Haley's hand goes up second. And then, what's his name? Black dude. I'm sorry, I don't remember your name.
Tim Scott.
Yeah, Tim Scott. His he had decent answers. Didn't wow me with anything. But, yeah, his hit, like, just dominoes, like you said, across the right. And then DeSantis looked, well, it would be to his right, to our left. He looked to his right first and saw nobody raising their hand. Then he heard the crowd cheering. Then he turns back and sees the entire other side of the room raising their hand. And he slowly puts it's so bad and so telling. Like, you want a leader?
Yeah.
You want a leader. And that's the guy that you chose. The guy who, if he wasn't planning on pardoning Trump, fine. So be it. Own that and be the leader on that. But this is just... the most gloriously bad look, because he's like, I don't know, the people are cheering. Oh, everybody's hands are up. Okay, I'll put my hand up. Like, man, the guy that was supposed to be the front runner against Trump now has been knocked down quite a few pegs to where Vivek, a guy who nobody had heard of until 6 months ago, he is the leader who will, whether you agree with him or not, he has conviction and he will raise his hand if he agrees. He won't wait to see what anybody else does. He will say, no, this is what I believe. DeSantis will look around and see, oh, those people don't agree. Oh, those people agree. Oh, those people are doing much better than those people, so I'm going to raise my hand now.
Mhm.
It's just so telling of his character. Dave, go ahead.
Dude, I love it. I love to see these people exposed. And it's, again, you can go back and just look at other elections like 2016. You know, the news would come on and go, oh man, Amy Klobuchar, did you see her performance last night? Really good. I think that she might be, you know, Pete Buttigieg is climbing in the polls. Might be the guy.
No.
Like,
Even better. It's like when John Fetterman got appointed, and then the next day they were like, I could see he's pretty sexy. I could see him running for president someday. Like, just glazed over. This is what we're supposed to say. Looks in their eyes and just spewing nonsense. Sorry.
He is not his own man. No, he's being handled. Like, all these people are handled. They're just there to play the game.
They're super PAC puppets, like, as some might say.
Thank you. Super PAC puppets. I know he did cool things in Florida, and that was great. This is a different game, and he is Jeb Bush / Rick Santorum.
Let's watch this one more time, because to me, this was, I mean, for whatever, all the things that Vivek said, this action, no words involved, no words needed. This action, to me, was the defining moment of the debate.
If former President Trump is convicted in a court of law, would you still support him as your party's choice? Please raise your hand if you would.
It's like a half up, and then all the way down the other side, they slowly put their hand up after DeSantis. Even Mike Pence puts his hand up. And I said it wrong earlier. I said pardon him. That wasn't the question. Would you support him as the nominee, even if he gets arrested, goes to jail, gets the nomination? Would you still support him? Which is obviously, I mean, that's always the big question that every party asks. Will you be a team player, even if you don't support the team player right now? Which, frankly, 99% of the time, including possibly this time, there's a part of me that has less respect for a person if they say, yes, I would support whoever the candidate is, no matter what. That's like the, what's his name? Nick Sarwark thing, where like, if Hitler was the candidate, if Dick Cheney was the libertarian candidate, then we should absolutely support them. That mentality, that cult bullshit mentality, is what gets us into all of these problems always. I like Vivek. I don't know if it's a bold statement to say that I would support him even if he was the nominee from prison. So I support him on his boldness, but I don't know, like, that doesn't mean I'm going to support Donald Trump. It's not a win for me that any of these people would support whoever the candidate is. But what's confusing to me is you spent the last hour and a half, Mike Pence in particular, shitting on Trump and trying to get people to say that they would incarcerate Trump. They have a problem with Trump. Trump is this evil one. He was my guy. I know him better than anyone. And you need to vote for me because Trump is evil. But then when the question comes and Vivek's hand goes up and the one side's hands go up, and then DeSantis' hand goes up, Mike Pence is still like, yeah, I'd still support him. Like, you can't have it both ways, man. Either he's a criminal scumbag that you've painted him as for the last hour and a half, 40, whatever. Either he's that, or you would support him. If you would support him knowing that he's a criminal scumbag that you've painted him out to be, then why should I vote for you? Like, everything that Mike Pence did for the entire night, like his hardest hitting arguments were like, I would like to speak on that also. Like, please let me get, like, he would talk over other people trying to be like hard, but it still came off as just like buttoned up politician-y, like very white guy douchebag. Yeah, I don't know. So many things. Dave, thoughts?
Well, they all signed the pledge that they would support the eventual nominee. So that's already bitch shit for everybody.
Yeah.
But if you're Vivek, you probably know that it's going to be Trump, and you're on that Trump train anyway. You're representing MAGA here. So, but yeah.
So he's the only person who can honestly do it, because he would honestly support him. Everybody else is like, well, if people are cheering for that, I'm going to go with you.
Mm-hmm. So they all signed it. And then, yeah, that is a cop-out. I can't remember who it was, but somebody said in the chat, it might have been Gustav, that they hope that they don't pay the bond for Trump, and that he stays in the prison for a little bit so that the protests get huge and they have to cover it, and that he gets more popular. And well, that's actually not that bad of an idea. Yeah. They said actually that the Secret Service could get involved and like clear off since he's like ex-president and he's running for president, he could get Secret Service protection and like clear out a wing of a prison. Like it's in the Secret Service, like in their doctrine, they can just do that. Yeah,
Their criminal
we can
protection
just take
handbook.
this prison over, bro.
Yes.
Yeah. So again, I think this is all kayfabe. This is all theater, and they all know what's going to happen, and they're just trying to avoid it best they can.
Absolutely. Libertarian Pugnator? I don't know. Says, fake super chat, what is your guys' opinion on Argentina's primaries? And Dave, one reason why I wanted to do another episode is so that you could catch me up on a couple things that are happening that I haven't been paying attention to, but I've seen the memes of the mutton chops guy. That's what we're talking about here, right? Okay. Can you fill me in on a little bit on that and give your opinion? Or do you know anything?
I don't know a whole lot about it. I know that this guy is like, he seems to be a legitimate ANCAP. Like he rocks the black and gold and he knows his shit.
Okay.
I've seen some people talk about how, well, he's posted, I think it might've been Daniel McAdams said like, well, he's at the end of the day, he looks like he's posting like his goals might embolden the CIA. So I'll have to look more into that. He does look like he came straight out of like a 1968 like talk show or something like that. There's something bizarre about it, but
there's something very memeable about him.
Yeah. It looks British. I don't know. Something weird.
Yeah. I don't know that much about it. If anybody has like concise things that they want to send me links to, I will definitely look into it more. But I've seen a couple of his rants about the left is this and the left is that, whatever. Okay. You've got a guy who's, saying some things. I don't know anything else, so whatever. Adam Choit says, fake super chat. Also, I just went on Adam Choit's show. Go check it out. It's called People We Love Podcast. Fake super chat Anomaly had a good vid today about Vivek's past. I'll just say, to be controlled opposition, one has to express at least some based views that the powers that be, that's what that stands for.
Yeah, there you go.
That the powers that be don't like. Take that for what you will. Yeah, and it's the same argument for Trump, right? Like, Trump was the guy who was saying the things where we're like, this guy might change some things. Even if you go back enough, like Barack Obama was saying some suave things. That's the politician in you that's just saying shit that the people want to hear. If you want to become
going to close
the president,
Guantanamo, right?
Right.
That's what he was going to do. And Trump was going to lock up Hillary. And this guy, and Vivek said, somebody asked him, like, who would you want to run the Fed? He's like, I don't know. Maybe somebody like Rand Paul or Ron Paul. I'm like, you motherfucker, you just blew it. Now you're just fucking jerking us off. Stop it. I'm hip to you, bro.
Oh, by the way, I should mention, this PorkFest episode that I've been idly sitting on for a long while has turned into a bit of an unauthorized hour and 45-minute currently PorkFest documentary of sorts that will come out at some point. But there's some Vivek in there, and there's his response. There's Larry Elder's response, because a lot of the questions that came up for a lot of these, mainstream candidates, of course, at PorkFest was, would you end the Fed? And there's some answers in there that, Vivek's answer, I don't want to spoil anything, but it wasn't what I was looking for. It was a little bit more, let's fix the problem than let's eradicate the problem. And
did you ask him this or somebody else?
Somebody else. I filmed it. It'll be in there, though.
Okay.
But just a heads up, that will be coming out over the next couple of weeks. Hopefully, as I wrap it up, I think all the pieces are in place. Just need to do some cleaning up and tidying up, and that will be out soon. So keep an eye out. And if you support the show, get in the Patreon, do all the things. Nimitz says, fake super chat, what about Vivek's ideas for a literacy test to vote? He can eat my dick on that one. I don't know. I don't know that anybody has the right to vote. I think that's up to your democracy to decide who has the right to vote. There's a part of me that wouldn't mind a little bit more strict regulations on, hey, have you ever heard of the person that you're voting for, or are you just checking a D? I don't know what the right answer is. I don't know if it's a literacy test exactly, maybe, or even an IQ test, or I don't know, maybe a civics test. I don't know. What do you think, Dave?
Personally, I don't like the idea of a test necessarily. I would be in favor of raising the age, but I think it's one of those things that would be politically unwise. Just like, look, you know why the Democrats, if they win, why they'll win? Because they have student loan debt forgiveness. What do you have that's that? because that's how most people vote. What have you done for me lately? Right. So if you're like, well, what I would like to do is strip millions of people that could vote now ability to vote. It's like, I don't know if that's going to help you, but I agree. Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like on paper, I don't know. Like, there's a part of me that certainly wants people to be a little bit smarter about their vote and have an idea of what they're voting on or who they're voting for before they can vote. I don't know what the right answer is for that. I don't know. Like, democracy is two wolves and a sheep deciding on what's for dinner. So it is what it is, as it is, and I don't know what the answer is. But I don't think it's eat a dick territory to say that people should be a little bit wiser when they go cast their vote for who they want to rule their life for the next 4 years. Joey Two Gun says, fake super chat. Nikki is for real about till death do you part. Her hubby is shipping off to war. Thank you.
Yeah, she can't wait. She's trying to be single. She's got a lot of life left. Looking pretty good too.
Oh, I see. So she's like very pro stay in marriage till forever, and she's like, yes, and I dropped him off to never come back again, and that's a good thing because he's.
If you're
serving.
On different continents, it doesn't.
I may not be serving as the politician, but he is serving at least. Thank God. Yes. All right. One more, I think here. If you got more that I missed, sorry. Fake super chat from James Gentleman. Not a literacy test to vote. He wants to raise the voting age to 25. Yay. Unless you can pass. That was James saying that, not me. Unless you can pass the immigration test, fine. Or serve in the military or as a first responder. Ugh. I'm not sure what you're saying or whose side you're on here, but that was a lot. Yeah, there's an argument to be made on like property owners. There's an argument to be made on, I think, even on willingness to serve. If you want to say maybe you should have some stake. I don't know. If the government came out tomorrow and said you can only vote if you voluntarily serve in the military for X amount of time, I would be like, okay, that's fine. I didn't believe in my vote to begin with, and I'm okay with not voting because it doesn't mean anything. I'm still not serving. But if somebody thinks that it's that valuable that they are willing to go out and do that, sure, because they probably have a better head on their shoulders than the people who are like vote gathering and mailing in their votes and just saying, hey, vote D no matter who, or vote R no matter who, or even vote L no matter who. They probably have, they have more invested into it, so they're going to put a lot more thought into it than even I will. So maybe. Time Continuum says, fake super chat, Richmond, north of Richmond for new national anthem. It's a nice song.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about that yet, bro. I forgot about that. This has been a long time since we've talked. It's been a while. But that's a big deal.
It is.
And they brought that up first things first in this debate. They had to comment.
That was
on
fucking
the
weird.
song.
It felt like an awards show. They were like, welcome to the first presidential debate. Now, leading the Billboard charts right now is Richmond, north of Richmond, with from Oliver Anthony or whatever. And this song, said they even played a clip from it. I'm like, what is happening right now? There's a part of me that's like, this is awesome, because that means that the culture is doing something that these people actually, like, they're taking note. Hey, this song that's talking about everybody on this stage is blowing up right now. What do y'all think of that? But there's another part of me that's like, what the fuck does that have to do with this presidential debate? What do you think, Dave?
Well, I've heard some people talk about Oliver Anthony like he might be, what did Scott Horton said, AstroTurf. Right. So again, I'll throw him in the basket of limited hangouts. Maybe.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if I buy that.
I don't either. I mean, I don't either. I'm just saying, even if that's true, that song rocks. Those lyrics are important. It went to #1. That's good for libertarians, people that care about being anti-war and, preventing the country from going to total shit. This was not even on the agenda to discuss,
but I guess it's part of the debate, so we have to discuss it a little bit. But
it's crazy that we didn't discuss it.
I've heard that it's a psyop, or that he's like a left-wing shill or whatever, and that he's just a plant by the music labels to make $1 billion, whatever. Perhaps. But what doesn't make sense to me is why, if the music industry, who's really bad at making $1 billion, like they're really bad at pushing any, like the music industry is going quite the opposite direction. They're like, we're going to make $1 billion because we're going to go with a guy and a dobro playing a old country song about how the government sucks. Doesn't seem like an opinion that the music industry would see as a marketing value, because it's not even like they made a, let's say, a Tom McDonald song. If they like signed Tom McDonald, that's still got like pop market sensibility. This is just like a dude and a guitar instrument just yodeling about how the government sucks. I don't know. It seems hard for me to buy that, as one who is inclined to believe that everybody is a shill. I don't know if I'm buying it at this point.
No, I don't either. I don't. I believe that he's legit. I'm sure that he had a couple people behind him that had some money and a plan to make that shit pop. But awesome. Like, that's fucking great. And dude, it's a really good song. And I felt emotional listening to it multiple times. Watching the people react to that song, black people, white people, I felt like it was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, all it might take is like a song.
Right.
To like get back to where we kind of need to be.
It's going to take art and passion, certainly.
Dude, it's a big deal. So I didn't want to underplay that. Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, it's the same as when we had Tom McDonald on back in the days. I know now he's getting a little, I don't know. He's getting a little too rah America. It's like, keep going, but whatever.
Yo, tell that motherfucker he lives in Canada, bro.
He doesn't live in Canada. He's from Canada. But
all right.
With the Oliver Anthony thing, yeah, I mean, it's kind of the same reason why I got into Tom McDonald and all of these High Res and Jimmy Levy and whatever, 5 Times August and some of the artists that I've had on the show. It does embody, like, whether or not he's a shill, the words that he's saying and what he's creating embodies the point of this show, which is that it has nothing to do with black, white, gay, straight, any of this, left, right, any of the things. This whole thing is created and concocted by richer people than you, and just like war, politics caters to the wealthy, only the wealthy. They will gaslight you into believing that politics will help you somehow in your day-to-day life. It won't. I'm not sure why you're here listening to us. I hope it's just to listen to us shit on these people. But as Dave so eloquently put it at the beginning of this episode. But the main point of the song is that all the people, hold on, let me pull this back up. All the people, save for perhaps Vivek Ramaswamy, all the people on this stage are what that song was written about. So it is telling that they're like, this needs to be talked about in the zeitgeist of the political sphere. This is, it's a controlled demolition of the United States, or at least our culture. It is divide and conquer of the middle and lower class. It is divide and conquer of humans being human with each other. And that's what the song's about. That's what the show's about. That's what Vivek is talking about in a lot of the shit that he said on the debate stage last night. So love him or hate him, love Anthony or don't trust him, doesn't matter. If the words are right, praise them and tell them that's the shit that sells. Yes, get Nikki Haley spouting some anti-war shit maybe. Like, even if she's faking it, it's fine. That's what Chris Christie is doing. He's faking it too, just for the other side. We need more people, whether they're faking it or legitimate. Whether Oliver Anthony is faking it or legitimate does not matter. If he's saying the right thing, praise him. Tell the mainstream music industry that is using this plant. Tell them, yes, this shit sells. Now keep selling it, please, because we will happily give you money if you're speaking truth to power, and that's what he's doing. So,
hell yeah, man, dude. People used to do that all the time. By the way, in the 60s and 70s, there were, all kinds of songs that came out that were anti-war, only about loving your neighbor and shit, and like that's what it was all about, and they made money. I hope that this guy makes a lot of money, and I hope that they're taking notice. I hope that there's some record execs going, wait a second, this Jason Aldean guy and Tom McDonald and these guys, like, are they the only ones who are singing it? Because we could just build an army of those guys, and maybe they'll do it for money. I don't need them to be philanthropists. I need them to put out good music with good messages. So
right, I don't even need Dave Smith to do it for not money. I don't need him to run for president. If he was running for president to make money, to grift, to boost his career, that would be fine. I just want him to do it, which transitions us very smoothly into our next topic. Which will give you just a bit of a teaser of what we're going to dig more into in the after party, in addition to a movie exclusive premiere. It's not even done. If you want to see the unfinished product, it's basically done. You'll get the gist of everything, but I've got a couple things to tidy up on this thing. But movie premiere and talking about more LP drama, because some dumb shit's happened over the last month or so. come join the Downers Club at patreon.com/thesystemsdown, because that is my grift currently to keep me motivated coming back here. Keep motivating me. Dave, so Dave announced he put out a comedy special yesterday. And in it, it was a good special. I would say it was all right. It was fine. It was Dave Smith comedy. I enjoyed it. A little, I don't know. Let me just ask you, what do you think of the special overall, Dave?
I enjoyed it. I thought my biggest LOL was the presidential joke that I think was not planned. That's when I rewound it probably like 5 times.
Yeah.
And watched that because I just cracked up like, oh, you motherfucker. But it was good. Good show.
I will say, and at the risk of being called a bitch on the internet, I will say that the promo that he put out for the special, it was literally like Adolf Hitler, Mein Kampf, Donald Trump. Like it was literally just buzzword. I'm not saying that makes him the thing that people call him, but it seemed, I understand that you have to get people riled up to get them to go watch the thing so that they can form their own opinion, but it was just like, it was a little too on the nose for me, and I was like, it just felt cheap. Yes, those words were said in the special, but it was like, hey guys, be pissed off at me. Be pissed off at me. Oh, you're not pissed off at me? How about this? How about I say the F word? I don't know.
So much very edge. Yeah.
Yes. I don't know. It was just things like that. It's just kind of like a part of me thinks that it's lending credibility to the people that have opinions of Dave Smith, like, oh, he's a white supremacist, he's Nazi or whatever. Those things aren't true. We know those things aren't true. I'm not even saying that those things could be true. I'm saying if you wanted to avoid people thinking that, this seemed like a weird way to run with it. The jokes I thought were funny. When you actually watch the special, it's just the promotion for the special that I was like, it was kind of just cheesy, maybe. Like cheesy fake outrage clickbait shit. And I don't know. What'd you think?
Right. I don't think I saw the promo for it, or at least that one. But yeah, if you were trying to just be shocky with that, I mean, yeah, it's clickbait. Yeah. Watch my show. Whatever you got to do, I guess. But
anyway, in the show, somebody did shout out, as you mentioned. He said something about these people suck at, these people shouldn't be running for president or something like that. And somebody said Dave Smith from the audience, and then he had to deal with that, which I thought was funny that this is coming out right now. We'll get into why. But he says Dave Smith from the audience, and he says, nah, I'm going to keep doing this. It's much safer. Which I thought, like, I didn't see. He apparently posted in the Mises Caucus Facebook group, which is what it is. It was very vague and whatever. I don't really care. I'm glad that he finally said, no, I'm not doing it, because you and I have known for a while that he's not doing it, whatever, and we've kind of beat around the bush about it. I'm glad that he finally came out about it, but just a week or so ago, there was this Twitter Spaces debacle between the LPNH guys and Mises Caucus guys, Dave Smith, Michael Heiss, Jeremy Kauffman, Reed Coverdale, all people that I love as humans. And they got into it about messaging and all this stuff. And at one point in particular that stuck out to me was somebody brought up, well, this, I think it was a person who called in or whatever. They were allowed to speak with their questions during the Q&A section. They asked, like, when are you going to say something about your presidential campaign or something? And Dave still beats around the bush and says, well, I'm going to put out an announcement within the next week or so about this. And yeah, it like just very vagued it off. And yes, there was the announcement for the Mises Caucus page, if you're in there, which I am, but didn't notice until after seeing this special, even as somebody not knowing that he wasn't going to run, watching the special and just seeing him be like, nah, like, yes, it's funny on one hand, but for the people.
I'm sorry you saw it before you saw the message.
And people like me. I mean, I knew, so it wasn't a surprise. But I'm just thinking of, like, empathizing with the lay person who still thought Dave Smith was running, for that to basically be the public announcement of, nah, that whole thing that I built up and created around, or that was created around him. It's not just him, but like this whole momentum going into the Reno, all that shit. A lot of it was based around Dave Smith is hinting at running for president, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, for the last 2 years. and then to drag it out and not give a definitive statement, and then finally the definitive statement to be, nah. The troll in me respects it. The layperson in me, or the part of me that empathizes with the layperson, is kind of annoyed by it. What do you think?
I don't know how much you want to talk about this now, but I mean, I'm extremely disappointed, just like everybody else is, because I understand the potential that campaign could have had. And it makes me very sad.
From the platform that called Dave Smith a coward professionally, I would like to spend just a little bit of time focusing on how, love him or hate him, and I still love him, Dave Smith is a coward. So that is all. We have to talk about it a bit.
I'll say this. When somebody yells out, Dave Smith president, in the middle of your stand-up special, like, the only thing you could do is try to be funny. Not, well, no, dude, I don't think, like, you can't do that. So I thought that was great.
But also, if somebody yells
heard
out Dave Smith running for president during your comedy special, that tells you how far you pushed them along into believing that you were running for president, that it made it to the point of the filming of your thing.
Oh, yeah.
And then it made the cut.
Yeah.
Like,
well, Dave knows too that
look.
a huge portion of his audience are libertarian meacocks. You know, they always come out in droves to his shows. So it's just like, that's impossible to not get some of that. It would have been weird if somebody didn't yell Dave Smith. You know what I mean? Of course.
Yeah, sure.
They're his dude. There was a period of time, dude, 2019 and 2020 maybe, like I was listening to more Dave Smith content than any other content creator. Music, film, television. And especially when he started getting involved with the caucus, you know, listening to the podcast, it was like, it's like a choose your own adventure. You know what I mean? You're like living the kind of thing. And that was great. So again, man, I'm as disappointed as everybody else, but maybe he could have said it earlier. He shouldn't have let us on or whatever. At the end of the day, though, I'd remember two things. One, the party and the movement and the caucus is way better, light years ahead of where it would be without his assistance. And two, he doesn't owe us a damn thing.
Absolutely.
He might owe Mike Heist an apology, but that's between those guys. That's between them. You know, we're better off with him. I mean, dude, he's on Rogan right now. Maybe he mentioned the caucus or the party or something. That would be great. You know, give us any kind of bump you can when you can, but he doesn't owe us anything, dude. If he wants to peace out, the way I look at Dave Smith right now, man, it's kind of like Rocky.
He doesn't owe us anything, but that doesn't mean we can't say, yo, what the fuck, when you know, completely steer people in one direction, then say, nah, not that. Not me. Anybody. Don't know who, but not that.
I mean, he never said he was going to do it, though. Like, I get it. I do. And I want to be
on.
Bro.
He hinted at it more than anybody else did.
Yeah, but dude, if we're taking his word,
he had Robbie Bernstein announce him at multiple events.
Yeah.
The next president of the United States, Dave Smith. If that's not an announcement, I don't know what is. I know it wasn't official, but come on.
I think that's Robbie. That's Robbie playing around. But at the end of the day, bro, I want it to happen. Like listen, I don't want to underplay this. This is a tremendous missed opportunity. And if you're out there and you're listening and you're ever in charge of like the movement and all of your people are coming to you to like, please lead us, do yourself a favor and like take that cue from God and do the job. Just fucking do it.
I don't know about that because I've had multiple people tell me that I should do it, and I'm definitely not taking that cue from God.
No, not multiple people. I mean, when your whole movement, if you're leading the movement and the movement is telling you that you are the guy, the only guy who could do this, the only guy who could reignite the Ron Paul revolution, pay attention to that and don't take that for granted. And you only live once. No regrets. You know what I mean? No regrets. My credo. So.
And I'm sure it was a hard decision to make, and family first, certainly. As somebody who has spent the last, hour and a half talking about how the politics are mostly bullshit, yes, family first, and if there's a family issue, deal with that first. And I don't hold it against him. Seems like that's probably the case. The only issue I have is that there wasn't, like, more transparency, which, as libertarians, we talk about, hey, the main thing we need is transparency, but then you see the politics, and you see the things dragged out and stuff like that. I don't know. It's just
we can't escape that shit, dude. I've learned that. We cannot escape that crap. There's just immutable bylaws of politics.
Well, that's what we're here for, Dave, to be the gatekeepers and keep people as transparent as possible and hold politicians accountable at the very least. Like, I enjoy the politics just for the entertainment value. I know it's all fake, but I enjoy it. It's like my nerd sports. And if we can keep a couple of the nerd sports ball players just a little bit accountable enough to have them, you know, put some value into this thing that isn't just politics, then so be it. And I do think, I mean, Dave is certainly still an asset to the liberty movement and the liberty message, and I don't, you know, I don't fault him for making the tough decisions. I'm sure it was a very difficult decision to make, and I'm sure that he knew how it would be received. Certainly, there are some people that will follow him to the ends of the earth and say, it doesn't matter what you do, we will support you because we love you and we're your fans. But he knew that, I'm sure he knew a lot of people would have a big problem with this. I don't know. Yeah, we can carry it more over into the after party, but yeah, if we have value here in this movement, I think it is to just be honest. And I think if the liberty movement, if libertarian candidates have any value at large, the only value they have is to be honest. So that's all I'm asking for. Let's just be honest together. And if we have to call some people out for not being as honest, then so be it. It's all out of love, and hopefully we're all working for the same end game. You got any final thoughts, Dave? If not, I think we'll wrap up here soon. But go ahead.
Yeah, bro. I'm pretty sure you have never seen the Rocky movies, but in Rocky 1, Rocky was like from the streets and super hungry, but he couldn't beat Apollo. He was almost there. And then in Rocky 2, he won the fucking fight and he started to make some serious money, and he was the champ, right? And by Rocky 3, he was like, he lost the eye of the tiger. He had all the money. He had his family. He was no longer a single man ready to just throw punches and go to battle with everybody. He had shit that he had to protect.
Yeah.
And I think Dave Smith is in Rocky 3 territory right now, which I'm not even going to hate him. You got a nice house in New Jersey and a nice comedy career, podcast, and you're still helping us.
But he skipped Rocky 1 and 2.
I'm not going to ask too much more. Well, he was already there. You know, you heard him for years going, you know, I'm a soldier in this shit. I'm a general or whatever. Yeah. Tom Woods is a general. Ron Paul, I'll go to battle for these people. Like that. Dave Smith has not been around for a little while. And that's okay, because he's 40 years old, father of 2, and some other people should fucking step up.
Yep.
Not for president. It's just not going to happen, but you know, for everything else.
I mean, if he wants to, please do. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Cool. This has been fun. I still would, I haven't seen anybody in anything that we've talked about today. I haven't seen anybody that I'm planning on voting for at this point in time. Still Joe Exotic for me. Vivek, please keep speaking truth to power. But until then, I'm the burn it down Joe Exotic supporter still.
Can I ask you one hypothetical for you?
Please.
All right. And I'll put this to the people in the chat too if they want to answer. But if Vivek isn't Trump's surrogate and he doesn't get selected for the VP, he's not going to be the president. So if he doesn't get selected to be VP, should the Libertarian Party reach out to him to try and secure that 5% that Josh was talking about so that we could be a major party?
That would be interesting. That's certainly an idea. I don't know. I would need to see more of him interacting with libertarians, going on more libertarian shows. And in fairness, he probably has, and I just haven't been paying that close attention. But I've heard him on a few.
He went on Clint's show. I think that's cool.
He went on part of the problem.
Redheaded Libertarian show.
Yeah, he's been around a bit.
So I mean, this is pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll have to dig more into him before I can give a definitive answer on whether or not that would be a good idea, or it would be another, hey, libertarians see a Democrat candidate that is anti-war, so Tulsi Gabbard should be our candidate. Like, I don't know. Nah, I need...
Well, I hear the argument with Tulsi, and I hear it with RFK Jr., and I would even hear it with Vivek, because he's not a perfect libertarian. But if you could get him to sign that Nat pledge and keep up with that rhetoric, I mean, it's better than Chafee, better than Gary Johnson, better than Joe Jorgensen. Like, I don't know. It would be a step up, and something.
Again, change my mind. And even if he is lying, even if he became hypothetically the libertarian candidate and he was lying and saying all the right things, great, because he's not getting elected either way. So whoever can do
5%. Yeah, we'll see you later. Thanks.
Yep.
5%.
Yep. Now we are going to keep the LP drama going a little bit here in the after party, and we're going to premiere that movie here shortly. So if you haven't already, get in there. Patreon.com/The System is down, and support this thing, whatever it is. There will be much more strange and unusual, not always podcast content, but creations of interest coming very soon to that, and people in the Downers Club tend to get the first looks at things, and the ad-free versions, and all the backlog content and everything. So if you like it and you want to support it, go do it. Dave, thank you for being here. As always, I look forward to continuing this conversation. Where can people find you and all the shit you got going on, man?
You can find me on Twitter, Dave versus Goliath 1, except I'm back to the old me, and I'm currently serving the last 2 days of a 7-day Twitter ban for calling Nick Sarwark a faggot. I muted the 2 Gs. I figured I could get away with it, but they, hate speech and everything.
Yeah.
Don't even regret it. I feel good about it. So I'll see you there in 2 days, and we'll be back with the show in a couple weeks. But yeah, I love being here, dude. Thank you.
Speaking of things that get canceled, my band is playing a show tomorrow at Skylark in Rock Island. Come, maybe we'll talk about that a little bit more in the after party too. Playing a show tomorrow night, 6:30 p.m. We haven't played a show in like half a decade at least. We are exiting. We are a band on the internet. We are called The Dawn Retreat. It's my band since high school. We are a band called The Dawn Retreat that exists on the internet. We are exiting the internet tomorrow, possibly one night only, to be humans together and interact humanly with other people and create human things together. So be there if you're in the area. If you're not in the area, come to the area like Joshua Smith is and come hang out with us and just have a good old-fashioned time. Do some emo shit. But that's it, guys. Thank you for tuning in to the first podcast in much too long, and hopefully we'll do it again sooner than later. Until next time, question everything, stay uncomfortable. We'll see you in the after party. Vote your conscience or don't vote, which is more your conscience. Let's be honest. See you guys.
Welcome to the system. Everyone's a victim. Doesn't matter if you're black or white, it hates you all. Here is how the system. Violence is a symptom. Fighting for what's right, but somehow everyone is wrong.